The unsettling reality behind Camryn's concerns regarding her father's passing is revealed in chapter 1382. She had started to wonder why her father had died, and Mr. and Mrs. Newman wanted to get rid of her. Given her role as a minor presence in their home, they assumed that her passing would go unnoticed. But Camryn's aunt stepped in and rescued her from her mother's evil schemes. The recordings of Mr. and Mrs. Newman discussing their desire to set up Callum and Camryn's marriage are played for Callum and Camryn to hear. The revelation leaves Camryn speechless and baffled as to why her own relatives would plot to harm her father. She worries whether their relationship was always an affair and why her mother didn't file for divorce if there had been adultery. Callum offers Camryn a glass of water out of worry for her health. They talk about the voice recordings' probable use against Mr. and Mrs. Newman as an evidence. Callum argues that while the tape by itself can be contested, when joined with other pieces of evidence, it can make for a strong argument. Camryn acknowledges that she lacks any additional evidence, though. She says that she yearned for her mother's love, but finally grew numb to the lack of affection as she looks back on her terrible upbringing riddled with violence and neglect. Her primary emphasis shifted to pursuing an education and leaving her terrible family. She decided to look into the stories surrounding her father's unusual death, but she made hasty decisions that caused her to lose her sight. She considers the repercussions of her past choices and admits that she might have unintentionally been shielded from her family's brutality by her blindness. Prioritizing getting her eyesight back before looking for more proof, Serenity counsels her, adding that it may be advantageous to acquire information if she kept her newly discovered sight a secret from her family. Camryn admits that her blindness was brought on by drug-related causes when Callum recommends a corneal transplant as a viable treatment. She sought medical advice, but was told that a corneal transplant would have little impact. She can see a little light, but most of it is still blurry. This chapter explores Camryn's challenges and the costs associated with her fight for justice. It emphasizes the psychological and physical violence she experienced at the hands of her family, as well as the emotional toll her inquiry has taken. Camryn's tenacity and desire to learn the truth about her father's death are demonstrated by her determination to regain her sight and to keep gathering proof. The chapter also looks at the difficulties of familial connections and concepts of redemption. Her aunt tried to protect her, but her mother resisted, revealing the brokenness in their family structure. Her decision to conceal her newly restored vision highlights both her need for autonomy and the significance of acquiring information without disclosing it to her family. We are left anxiously expecting the next stages in Camryn's quest for justice and redemption as the novel develops. Will she be able to compile the proof necessary to question her relative about their role in her father's death? And how will her search for the truth be affected if she is able to regain her sight? Comment down below.